Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. It's 5 stars here. We're going to talk about 5 things that I feel that Call of Duty as a franchise is going to have to do in order to bring me back full time as a Call of Duty gamer again. I used to love the franchise. Right now you're going to see some Modern Warfare 2 gameplay. Picked it up on Steam for $10. I think the sale ends on Monday. Literally hopped in my first or second game, and this dude was calling in a nuke, and it just brought back all this nostalgia. If you guys don't know, back in the day I used to run Harrier, Chopper Gunner, Nuke. So in the comment section, tell me what your best nuke setup was for your kill streaks. I know a couple people that ran Harrier, and they would run AC-130 and Nuke. But let's go ahead and get this video started. So the first thing that they would need to do in order to get me to come back to Call of Duty full time as a gamer is this. They got to switch the weapon unlock system, man. I don't like the randomness of the loot boxes. I know it's called supply drops, but essentially what you're doing is you have to get these supply drops, and if you get a duplicate, then you get credit or money towards, you know, being able to the armory credits that you could put towards your actual gun purchase. Like you buy your gun in pieces, like you buy this calling card, this pistol grip, this is World War II that I'm explaining. X, Y, and Z. And it goes a step further if you go into games like Black Ops 3, which in my opinion was the last good Call of Duty game. Infinite Warfare was pretty good. I played it competitively, so I have a different perspective on that. But World War II, in my opinion, is just a boring game. It's just not that good. It's just not that good. I traded mine in a few months ago, and I don't miss it. But back to what I was saying. With Black Ops 3, that pretty much jaded me with the franchise as far as the loot boxes or the supply drop system goes, because I always wanted the FFAR, I always wanted the Peacekeeper, and I would literally pay, like if those guns cost $10 a piece, I would have just paid $10 and bought them, right? Instead, I did the 75 win bribes. I did like 2 of those. I did countless. I think I spent like $10 on supply drops. Yeah, it was like $10. I had like a gift card, so I spent $10 on supply drops just to see if I can get more rare supply drops. Didn't get it. To this day, either on PlayStation or Xbox One, never got the actual FFAR, and that set the tone for me. So there's guns in the game that I really want to play with that you just can't earn, and to me that has to be the #1 thing to be fixed, because that ties into the problems with Call of Duty. They've put the emphasis on the grind, from challenges that give you cool experiences to challenges like, for instance, on World War II, they gave you the 75 matches. I didn't even enjoy playing the game to begin with, but yeah, you want me to complete 75 matches just to unlock one gun, and that gun might not even be the gun I wanted, because that's just the one that whatever General Howard or whatever that guy's name is assigned for the day. So that to me is just a broken and flawed system. It's good for generating money, but it's not actually good for keeping your customer base happy. And I also think that's contributing to this potential release of Modern Warfare 2 Remastered next month. I don't know. I think that's what's coming out. It's not confirmed. So that's alleged. I have a lot of hope for Black Ops 4 coming out later this year, but I think Activision has come to the realization that they're no longer the top dog, along with their subscriber base being pulled from games like Fortnite, PUBG if you're an Xbox player. Overwatch has been consistently, you know, a top dog on there. Rainbow Six Siege is on the come up, just reporting the highest number of concurrent players since launch, and this game is 2 years old. So with that said, I think that attributes to them actually pushing the game forward and releasing it a month early. It sucks for the World War II people that actually love the game. There are some people that like the game, but for them, they're going to have one of the shortest life cycles, so they're having like an 11-month turnaround. And that's not really fair for them, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and I think they're trying to get ahead of Battlefield, Red Dead, and everybody else this year. All right, so the second thing, spent a lot of time on the first one because that was the biggest one for me. Second thing, they got to overhaul the map design. After playing Modern Warfare 2, I just remember why I liked Call of Duty. There's so many different ways to approach each building, each area of the map. There's a lot of traversal paths that you can take to get to everything, and that's an issue with most of these new Call of Duty games, is that there's 2 to 3 places that you can really be, and once you get to knowing what the maps are, the element of surprise is almost completely gone. So it becomes who can camp or who can hold down a head glitch a lot better than somebody else. And yes, accuracy, like the better players will still be better, but a lot of times the above average players end up getting lumped into just, you know, the average players, because you'll get picked off either with somebody in a head glitch, or if you're playing, let's say, World War II, you'll just get picked off by just a shotgun running through a trench. And that is going to lead me to my third point, which is they got to make the gunfights a lot more consistent. The gunfights are very inconsistent, and I'm just going to use World War II because that's the most current one. They're very inconsistent because the flinch is one of the things that they had taken out from the game. They said I think it was to make it more competitive. Whatever the case may be, it just made the gunfights a lot more inconsistent, and in my opinion, it felt like they broke the game when they did that. So they got to make the gunfights more consistent. They got to overhaul the maps. Stop with these 3-lane maps. Stop with these basic map designs, and give me some buildings that I can run through that have doorways, ladders, you know, just different ways to get into them versus just one doorway in and one window to jump out, and that's the whole building. You know, that's kind of corny because you can't really hold down anything. And then when they do have buildings like that, there's usually just like one of them throughout the entire map. So they got to just take more time and design the maps. And lastly, I want to feel valued. Actually, I have 2 more things. I want to feel valued as far as when they release content. So right now, when they release content, as you see, like one map was a remaster, one was a war map. You really only got like 1 new map and like 2 remastered ones. So that's not really cool. Looking back to the stimulus package, you got 5 maps with Modern Warfare 2. And I feel like if I'm paying money for these maps, definitely want them to be either, if they're going to be a classic, just they better keep Nuketown the hell out of this game, because I'm done with Nuketown. If they have like Nuketown 2022 or some stupid shit like that, I'm going to be pissed, because I'm done with Nuketown. I hate that map. But if they do a map and it's going to be remastered, I think it should be a bonus, right? So if you release 3 new maps, 4 new maps, and there's a bonus 5th map, then I can deal with that. But don't give me less new content and rehash some old content and present it to me as a complete package and make me pay again, because that goes back to me not feeling valued. The 5th and final thing is if they start increasing the content drops, as far as the size of the content drops. What I like about games like Rainbow Six Siege, you get 2 new operators and you get a new map. Each map is like its own living, breathing game. So like every map is played completely different on Siege. The core values of the game are always the same, but when you go to actually play the game, each map has its own feel to it, and everybody has their own favorite spots. There's things that you remember specifically, like, you know, you build memories in these maps, and that's something that I feel like the Call of Duty franchise is now missing. That cool moment where you're like, oh yeah, I love playing this. Like, I remember coming home from work when Modern Warfare 2 was still the most current game, and I couldn't wait to use the M4. You know, I just couldn't wait. I was like, yo, I can't wait to fire up this game and get the M4 or even the ACR. Like, yo, if I pick up this ACR, like I'm gonna rip it. I'm gonna just kill them all. You know, but I don't get that feeling. I haven't gotten that feeling in a long time from Call of Duty. I think the closest I got was the M8 on Black Ops 3, and obviously I wouldn't know with the FFAR because I never unlocked it. Actually, I can't even call it unlocking. I never won that gun, so that's kind of a bummer. But increasing the size of the drops like some of these other games do, increasing the amount of guns that they put in the game and tie it with the maps, maybe that would be good. Or even if they did it, like, I don't think that Infinite Warfare, for all the hate it got, deserved it, because I feel the developers kind of were taken back a little bit and they did a lot of things right with that game. So for instance, the unlocking of guns. Like, I remember a new gun would come out. If you had the season pass, you automatically got it. I like that. I didn't buy the season pass because I didn't really believe in the franchise that much and didn't think I'd be sticking around the whole year. But if you had it, you got the guns, that's fantastic. But if you didn't have the season pass, it was literally like 25-30 minutes if you sat down and focused on a challenge, sometimes an hour, and you were done. Like, you got it. Versus a game like World War II where you have to go play, like say you find a game mode that you can finish in like 5 minutes, right? You got to go play that thing 75 times, which it just isn't. I think that's crazy to unlock a new gun. And then they have like 7 guns that you need to unlock. And by the way, they're timed with these challenges. So after X amount of time, you can't even unlock them anymore. So I just feel like that's a shady way to get more people to play your game at a certain time. And also, it just sucks. Like if I don't have that kind of free time, like I'm a college student, and if somebody is like a full-time parent, you know, you don't have 6 hours a day to devote to playing a game, you know. So I feel like they need to do something about that and kind of take it back to the way Infinite Warfare did it. They could still make money on their supply drops, but at the same time, there's still balance for the community. And I feel like that way, the consumer wins and the publisher wins. So that's pretty much all I got for this video. Let me know what would make you come back to the Call of Duty franchise in the comments section, as well as your tactical nuke setup in the comments as well. All right, you guys be easy, and I will catch you in the next video.